Hey everyone, my name is Andrew Langfield, and in this video I want to show you guys my method of making textures. Maybe you guys remember a while back ago I made a bundle. I called it the torn paper effect or something like that. I'll link it up here if you guys haven't seen that one. But it's got all sorts of different things like dust overlays or ripped paper, and I'm going to show you guys how to do that for yourselves. Now if you guys want to download all my different textures that I took in this video, you guys can download those in the link in the description. It'll take you over to Gumroad, and all the instructions will be down below in the description. But let's start now. Let's go take some pictures, then we're going to jump into the computer. I'll show you guys how to edit those pictures so that you can turn those pictures into textures that you can use on your own pictures. All right, so my first object here, we're going to be starting with the ripped paper. Now, when you set your camera up, try to see if you can get your camera in a pretty high f-stop so that you can get everything in focus, the table and anything that you lie on top of it. And then also try to see if you can do manual focus and then zoom right in to see and make sure that you are getting everything nice and sharp when you're taking your pictures. This is very important. Make sure you put it in a tripod and it's flat. Another thing that helps a lot is having a dark background when you're trying to extract white paper especially. So I couldn't find any black surfaces, so I'm going to use these tiles that my son uses to play on. And then you lay them down, and then we're going to take the picture, make sure everything's in focus. The next one I'm doing here is just a crumpled piece of paper, as simple as doing that. And then a side tip here, make sure you have your light on the side. It's being side lit. As you can see, because it's on the side, it's casting some shadows and it's just making the texture more interesting. The next one I'm doing here, I grabbed my vacuum and I'm going to start just banging it to get some of the dust to come out. It comes with some hair, some dust, and all sorts of different little rocks and different things like that. So what we're going to do, now that it's too concentrated, you want to remove some of the bigger pieces that you don't want on there, and then just try to shake it around so that you get a nice even layer of dust and these bits and pieces. Then I'm going to clean my surface. I'm also going to take a picture of my wood surface just so I can have a wood texture, so make sure that that's nice and clean. And then for my last one here, I got my coat. I wanted to see how the canvas kind of texture would come out, kind of that cloth texture. And then I also found this old bag that I used for my laptop. It's got a really neat canvas texture that I thought would be interesting to try to overlay over some pictures. One more texture I found here was this kind of concrete crack that I have in my basement. And I just framed it so that I could get a little bit of that concrete and a little bit of the finished look. So I thought this would be an interesting texture to see if I could get some of this kind of grunge feel coming through. Once you've taken those pictures, import them into your computer, and I'm going to open up Photoshop and we're going to start working on them here. I've created my canvas for 16 by 9, and we're going to resize all our pictures so that it fits within that canvas. So I imported all the pictures that I want to edit here, and then I've added 3 layers on top of them. I've got black and white, which we're going to apply to all of them. Then I've got invert, which I'm going to only apply to some of them. And then I've got the levels, which we'll be working on our contrast or white and black levels. As you can see here, I find that it's a little bit too dark, of course, so I'm going to bring my black level down so that I can see some of those grays. My midtones I'm going to bring up a little bit so that I can see the speckles a little bit more. Then I'm going to hit Ctrl-Shift-S so that I can save it and rename it and save it as a JPEG. Once you do that, make sure you save it as large as you can so you have the full resolution, and we're going to go and move over to the next picture. This is the grunge one, this is the concrete one. I'm going to remove the invert because it looks better when it's not inverted, but you can try both ways and see what you like. Once you've done that, I'm going to import a picture I want to edit here, and I'm going to start adding all these different textures to it. Starting with this dust overlay, I'm going to go ahead and go down to screen. As you can see, the dust overlay you can see there. Then I'm going to move over to the grunge, resize it so that it covers the whole thing. And I find that these ones look also really nice with soft light. As you can see there, you can see on and off. Now by hitting Ctrl-L, it'll bring up the individual levels for that picture, and you can play around with the black, mids, and whites so that you can find a little bit more contrast or less contrast. And that way you can control the individual intensity and contrast of each texture. Thanks so much for watching. If you guys like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you aren't subscribed already, make sure to subscribe to this channel so you guys can watch other videos. And for all 400 of you guys watching these videos, thank you so much. I do appreciate it. I'll see you guys in the next one.